GM friends, and thanks for tuning into DeFi-Logic's TA Tuesday in the server at 10 a.m. Mountain Time every single week. We have partnerships with Blowfin, and our ETH algo is live on the Astrobit marketplace. Links are in the description below. Join our server to learn more. In today's community call, we'll review charts for Bitcoin ETH to Bitcoin, ENS, Lido, Optimism, SSV, and for legacy markets, S&P, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, US dollar, US 10-year bonds, and finally, Japanese yen. With that, over to Eddie.
Hello, good morning. All right, let's check this out. Market kind of nuked last night. We were looking pretty decent on some Ethereum pairs over the weekend, but now we'll see. So we're watching live as everybody is in horror and agony because their bags are down bad. I've been talking about this 59K wick. I swear it's been since like somewhere around here back in March, and we've just continued chopping a bit for almost 2 months now, and we still haven't gotten this freaking 59K wick. So I'm to the belief now that there was some pretty good short triggers too. I haven't really been actively trading this market because trading a 4% day where it's just wicks and tiny body, it's just not something I enjoy doing. But it looks like we might be able to tag this out. That'd be cool if it happens while we're on stream, because then everybody who's watching can take some action, but we'll see. Anyways, K-Wick posted the idea in the Discord. I'll just put it on here really quick too, but you should be on the Discord. If you only watch on YouTube and you're not there, you're missing out on a lot of stuff. Just watching for this to play out now. The manipulation below this wick, right? And then a reclaim, and you just buy that reclaim for new highs on spot. If you do it on leverage, they'll probably just do this to you again. Just watching out for this to play out now. Have been watching this wick for forever. I think it needs to get swept in order for the market to resume going up again. Until that happens, people are just going to lose their money trying to trade the chop. Unless you're using our Ethereum Discord bot, you're probably losing because that thing is up like 12% this month. So make sure to go check that out. Ethereum basically had the same plan, and it was looking fine until it wasn't looking fine. This was all good price action. And then Sunday night, we had that pump. Everybody got super bullish. It sold off, gave a rejection at the 50 RSI on the daily, super ugly daily candle. But the next candle, the Monday candle, looked completely fine. So I just held the position. I really try not to make changes over weekend price action because it's just the weekend anyway. So Monday close came and it looked exactly like how I wanted to. I even added on it. And then for whatever reason, Europe decided to dump right before New York, and then New York just did the same thing. So we'll see what happens. I guess it could reverse, but there's really not a whole lot to do here. It was looking good, and now it's looking bad. Maybe some 4-hour closes above 32.63 or 32.54, and we're good for some more upside. I probably get stopped out in this position. How it's starting to look like, which is no fun. If we do get stopped out, if Bitcoin runs for 59K, I think the best thing to do is to just buy spot throughout the zone that we've talked about for a while. Layer your spot bids in there. Pray that the market isn't over, because those will be pretty good buys in the future. As long as bull market continues for the rest of the year, and maybe you get an average entry of around right here, I think you'll be pretty happy because everyone thinks that we're still in a bull market. I think. I don't know what people think. I still think we're potentially still in a bull market. So we'll see. I think everybody would be pretty happy though, just buying spot here, right? That doesn't seem too unimaginable. It's not going to happen overnight. I imagine that this will take most of the year to play out. You want to be taking profits in December, so it'll be caught holding the bag. Let's look at this stuff. It was looking good over the weekend, like I was saying, and now with this morning's sell-off, everything looks like shit again. I might not even want any of this stuff. ENS was looking good. Let's see how it looks now. Same thing happened, waiting for this to flip. It never did. It rejected it instead. All on that Sunday pump, which sucks, really. Rejections on the RSI. That's probably low now, honestly. Pretty decent demand after that low, though. So ENS is a coin that I think could run hard with Ethereum. It's hard to read, but this just makes sense to me that it'll most likely take out this low. If it doesn't, we'll just buy higher. But if it takes out this low, I might be a spot buyer into this box, or I'm at least going to watch it for it to put in a bullish pattern into it, right? So that's what I'm watching for ENS for now. Like the whole idea was like Ethereum looks good. Let's see what will be beta to it. But now everything just looks bad again. OP, the same, right? And I guess if Ethereum BTC is in the zone that I want it to hold, you would maybe think that this should hold too, but these are just all weaker to the entire market. So give us something actionable to do after that. The supports look like shit, but it all looks the same. It's the same plan for all of them. And if you can't figure out the daily flip level after watching me do it over and over again, it's right here. Yeah, but everything after that Sunday pump, everything just sold off really bad. It's just annoying. So yeah, same idea. Look into this zone or flips into that zone. The thing I don't like about a flip first, I'd want to see a dip to grab this liquidity first, because if it flips first, you'd have to probably want to short this level into this, right? This market is always going to take where the liquidity is. So I'd rather us get the buy side liquidity first. That way we can come up and take the sell side over here. Because if we just go up first, then the play is this. You want to do that instead if it pops up into here like that. But I'm trying to be team bull, so we need to go down first in order for bullish dreams to happen, in my opinion. Was really the coin that was getting me the most excited. So hopefully it still looks good. No, it doesn't. But if you see what I mean though, like this is just, if Ethereum can run, this is the type of shit that like is going to run so hard, right? Like it's doing. This V still probably looks the best out of all these. Either one of these would be fine to run. Same idea. I'd want some lows to be ran and just maybe start buying the demand slightly below it. And hopefully you put in like a little high or a higher low, something like that. You also can look at it like this, like a big ass wedge. This would be perfect actually. That's my dream world for this coin. Buy into here. If you're not fully positioned, once it breaks structure, go all in on it, or all in according to your tolerance for the trade. This is probably the most alpha out of all the charts so far. But yeah, waiting for the lows to get swept. That's basically all I'm doing right now. So that's it for me.
Cool beans. And now we're on to legacy markets. The yen is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, thank you. I put in the yen because I wanted to show how things are working with technical analysis. So we're going to start out with the S&P 500. If you look at the charts here, it's basically really wants to stay around the 5100 level, okay? So you can see that yesterday it popped all the way back up to the standard deviation line because it was all the way below 5,000 back here on Friday the 19th. So it's worked its way back up. It wants to stay above that level. But today we had some bad news on employment costs. So employment costs, they're expecting 1%. It actually increased to 1.2%. Does 0.2% make an issue? Yes, it does when it comes to the United States because our GDP is so big. I don't know if people understand that, but because our GDP is so big that even 0.2% actually makes an issue. So unemployment costs are going up, which means inflation is still going up. Wednesday, we do have, which is tomorrow, the Fed interest rate announcement, and that'll be very interesting. But I posted in TA charts that the economic numbers keep fighting the Fed because the Fed wants to cut this year because of political reasons, in my belief, and they want to cut, but the numbers keep showing that the cut is not going to happen this year. Moving on to NASDAQ, we're looking at, it's a funky chart because it just does not have any kind of formation. So right now we had basically a double top back here on April 4th and then the second top on April 11th, and then it just dropped, which it should. Then it's also climbed back up to the standard deviation line, and now it's falling back again. I don't know if it's going to fall all the way back down here, back down to around the 17,000 level, but because AI is really pushing NASDAQ up, because you have NVIDIA and other tech companies that are in the NASDAQ 100, that just keeps this thing pretty buoyant. But it could go down just as all the other charts are going down on the legacy markets. Moving on to the dollar index, it could explain why crypto is doing what it's doing. It's pumping today. You can see that it has been riding up the 2x band and trading between the upper 3x band and 2x band. This is extreme. These are extreme areas. So it did fall back almost to the standard deviation line, not quite, but then it's moving back up again. So this is the inverse correlation to crypto. I'm finally a believer in that, and because I've watched it for 2 years now, and it definitely is an inverse correlation to the crypto markets. So moving on to the US 10-year yield, this is another reason why the markets are down as far as S&P 500 and the Dow Jones 30 and NASDAQ. This is staying above 4.5. So right here, we're basically at 4.61, and the 4.5 level of percentage of interest rate is an issue. So we've held that level right across here, and now we're climbing back up again. So as this interest rate goes up on the 10-year, that means that it's going to drive the legacy markets down. So again, tomorrow is going to be Chairman Powell's announcement, and we'll see what he has to say, and it probably will drive the interest rates back up again. Going on to the last two, going to gold, okay? Gold definitely took a breather. I've been talking about this for a long time. And then I talked about, okay, the standard deviation line, it's cruising on that. Is it going to drop all the way down, back down to 2,300, which it did. It whipped down to it right here on April 23rd, last Tuesday, and then now it's below it. So I was hoping it would clear back up. It bounced off of the standard deviation line and get back up to and close above 2,400, because that would be extremely bullish, but it hasn't done it. So it's just going to keep falling back and falling back. It'll probably start to hover around this 2,300 level. So it's basically falling back because apparently the issues between Iran and Israel are not as extreme as they were a couple weeks ago. And that does drive gold in certain directions. So now that there's like a truce, a small truce between, it's unspoken truce, I should say, between Iran and Israel. So gold has pulled back on that. So I usually don't cover currencies, but I'm going to cover the US Japanese yen. Okay. So the US, the chart always goes with the US yen. So it's going up. Right here, the US dollar reached the highest point in 40 years. So the yen, this is the opposite for the yen. The yen has reached a 40-year low right here at this point. So that's why I'm covering it. But I'm also covering it because TA still works on it. So this kind of looked like the gold chart for a while, and now it's mellowed out, but we're still at extremes. And that's why I'm bringing this up, is because when it trades between the upper 2x band and the upper 3x band, those are extremes. So the US dollar is very strong against the yen. Obviously, conflict in the Middle East has driven the dollar up, but we'll see what happens to Japan, because Japan's markets actually last 2 years have done better than ours. So this is very interesting to see what their markets do on that. But currencies, still, technical analysis is very dominant, okay? Just like in legacy markets. TA becomes dominant also in crypto markets if you have a mature market like Bitcoin and ETH on that. Again, technical analysis still works. So it doesn't really matter if it's a currency market, legacy market, bond market, technical analysis still works. Okay, I'll turn that over to you, Pepe.
Cool beans. That is it for this week. Thanks for joining the stream, and remember that Bitcoin and Doge trading algos are currently in beta testing on Astrobit, and as of today, our ETH strategy is now available for sale on the marketplace. If you'd like to learn more, join our Discord server now. You can use our affiliate link for Blowfin for a discount on perp futures trading fees. Proof of reserves are verifiable on Nansen, so you can ensure funds are SAFU. GM, friends.
Join us next week in Discord for TA Tuesday at DeFi-Logic.com.